Hi, today is 2025, February 5th. It is a Wednesday, and in this video, I wanted to share the only time that I faced outright racism here in Toronto, Canada, having lived here for over 20 years now. I came here as a kid when I was 12 years old with my family back in 2003. Before then, I was living in Seoul, South Korea, and before that, born in Manila, Philippines. But to get to the point, I was in grade 7 within the first year of arriving here, and my friends and I were playing tag, so we were chasing each other, and this little kid coming up to about my chest height bumps into me pretty hard, and I found out he did it on purpose because he immediately goes, "You smell," and then he runs to his friends nearby, and then he goes, "That Chinese guy smells," and I was like, "I don't think I have body odor," and then I tell my friends this, and my friends are like, "Oh, what a little shit, don't worry about it, just ignore the little kid," and that was that was the one and only time I faced outright racism. I know some Asians have faced hate during COVID times, but I was just indoors all the time. So I don't live downtown, I live uptown, not a lot of people, just going to the groceries and back, and just living indoors all the time, not really going out much. I hardly interact with that many people on a day-to-day or month-to-month or yearly basis, really. So, but most of the times I don't even feel like a minority here in Toronto. Like, you just go out and you're just surrounded by so many different ethnicities that you never feel like they're a majority of one type of ethnicity and you're the only Asian there or something like that, you know? Like, I think the only time. Oh, okay. I remember on the drive to New York City, because my family and I have driven to New York City a few times. Um, this wasn't racism, but just feeling like you're a minority. On the drive from Toronto to New York City, which is about an 800-kilometer drive, it's about a 10 to 12-hour drive depending on the traffic. Most of the areas in between Toronto and New York City are very white. They're majority white people. And at a small stop, we stopped by a restaurant to have lunch. And everyone is white, but we didn't really, pay much attention to that. But when I found was there were tiny little kids who were very, very little. And I guess they hadn't really seen any Asians before because we were sitting facing each other, and then they were on the table next to us, and they turned around and put their knees on the chair and were like staring at our faces. And the only explanation I can think is that they don't really see Asians that much at all because it's such a small town and there are hardly any Asians in small tiny little towns, right? It was just some random stop in the middle of, like, it wasn't a city or anything like that. So they weren't rude or anything. They were just curious to see what we looked like and were staring at us. Both kids, the there was a boy and a girl. They were both staring at us, and we were like, "Oh wow, there must be so few Asians that they're finding it so interesting that Asians are there." Yeah, but otherwise, in a big city like Toronto, yeah, I never feel like a minority. Um, yeah, anywhere I go, in Toronto. So, very blessed and lucky to not encounter hatred. I know a Korean friend who told me when he lived in Brisbane, Australia, he encountered a fair bit of racism there. Like, he would just walk into a gas station or store, and even before he opens his mouth to pay for anything or anything like that, just the store owner would just out blatantly call him racial slurs, like derogatory terms for Asians. Although I forget what the exact term was because he told me and I never heard it before. I guess it's an Aussie slang or Aussie derogatory term. So, but yeah, Toronto is not like that. So very thankful that I'm in such a multicultural city that I never feel marginalized or ever in danger or ever hated upon just because of the way I look. Yeah, very thankful for that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, it's really cool and odd how the perception of Koreans have shifted over the last 2 decades. Like before, a lot of people were just calling me Chinese, and not when I say I'm Korean, they're like, "Are you from North Korea or South Korea?" I'm like, "You're never gonna meet a North Korean in your life. Like they can't escape. Most of them can't escape." But now Korea is like with the K-pop and K-drama, and it's just people are wanting to learn Korean, and Korea is cool and hip. I'm like, whoa, this is a massive change within 2 decades. So that has been a huge change, and like people actually learning Korean even though they're not Korean. I think that's really odd and interesting and cool. So like my girlfriend, she's not Korean, but she knows how to speak Korean, and we speak in Korean to each other sometimes, and she actually is the one to initiate Korean to me more than at the beginning because I was just speaking English all the time, and she would inject Korean here and there, and I was like, whoa, it's like, and now I'm speaking more Korean with her, and it's just really cool that we can share our own little, like, there are situations where Korean just feels a bit more close or more filled with affection. Korean sometimes does that a bit better depending on the context. So I'm speaking in Korean sometimes with my girlfriend, and I really like that we can speak Korean with each other. And the fact that she's not even Korean, she just learned this on her own. It's so cool, really cool. Yeah, had to mention that. So yeah, I never expected such a cultural shift from being what? Korea? You mean like North Korea? To like, oh, Korea, yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. So the reason I'm wearing this is because I got a sore throat again for the 5th time within 2.5 months or something. But oh man, no, 3 months. Within 3 months. Within 3 months is the 5th time I got a sore throat. Well, at least I can still record videos like this. Just drinking water every 30 minutes though, because my throat is so dry and sore. But oh well, that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. I might film a few more today. Let's see. Here comes the pet montage. 1% better every day, baby. You wanna walk, Muffin? Should I lower the speed? 뭐지?
Tigger is affectionate at night. I wonder why. What a big cat. So soft. Tigger.